Welcome, everybody, to my E3 coverage 2017. This is going to be a little different this year. This year I am doing a highlights coverage reactions instead of in-depth reactions. So we are going to be doing the best of each conference. I'm going to be scaling and reviewing on a scale from 1 to 10 every press conference at E3. We are going to be doing a who won E3 at the end. And see what winner comes out at E3 as the top dog. So we'll see. Up first, we have EA, Electronic Arts, with their 2017 press conference that just ended today. I took notes. I'm actually taking notes on my brand new Surface Pro 4 tablet with the OneNote Touch with the pen. It actually really came in handy. I'm able to save it. I'm able to convert, scribble to text. Pretty neat. So I got some notes here. I'm going to actually go over some of them. As you know, I'm covering E3 a little different this year. I am still having the full-on coverage on Twitter during their live press conferences at Sean Murray NJ on Twitter. But instead of going in depth with every single press conference, I'm just doing the best of the best, the highlights, what stood out to me. And I'm going to also be condensing some of the press conferences into one reaction video. But I had some time tonight. I got done early with everything going on. And I said, you know what? I was going to wait till tomorrow and add this in with Bethesda and Microsoft. But I'm going to do it now on its own. So here we go. So basically the EA concert. The EA conference opened up with Madden 18 with a bunch of goofs drumming and strumming and going up and down. Showed gameplay of the story mode, which they're calling Long Shot. So, this is the year of the story mode. Who would have thought Madden would have an in-depth story mode? Well, this Madden's going to have it, guys. And they're calling it Long Shot. And that's pretty much, what the opening of the conference was. I'm not lying. Battlefield 1, they talked a lot about Battlefield 1. Want to keep the game going. New stuff coming, 8 new maps, plus more. Also featuring a women's battalion. Lots more coming. I thought this kind of dragged out a bit. If you follow me on Twitter, halfway through the concert, I put, what the fuck is this shit? Come on already. Wow, really sucked ass in the beginning. The first half was really terrible. They picked it up, though, and there's a reason why they picked it up, but if it wasn't for this one game, I don't know what I would have thought at the end of this conference, but we'll get to that in a minute. But, oof, let me tell you, it was a rough start, and I was not the only one. I was talking to a whole bunch of my buddies from IGN, a whole bunch of my buddies from GameSpot, and a lot of other gaming journalists, and I was not the only one that was like, come on already. I know we always go into an EA conference knowing that we're not going to be blown away, but this was rough. So, Need for Speed Payback, thank God. This was good. This segment was good. New info talked about, new gameplay shown, lots more customization in the game. They showed gameplay of Highway Heist. Graphics looked really nice. Sick crashes shown. Yeah, it was good. We've had a break for game Need for Speed. We've had a decent break. So I was definitely due for a new Need for Speed. And this one looks like a top quality game. It looks really fun. Looks like they kept everything that was good about the franchise and added to it. I've been with Need for Speed since the early days on the Tandy PC Road and Track. I bought a Thrustmaster wheel. And I played it every single iteration of Need for Speed all the way since then. And I've absolutely loved it. There was a couple that I really wasn't feeling. This seems to be getting back to what's good about Need for Speed. So I can't wait for Payback. Again, I put up that the conference picked up a bit with this. It kind of rambled on with a lot of silliness. Again, this is a highlight reel, so I'm not even going to waste my time and talk about the stupidness. But again, just like last year, I remember with Ubisoft, if they would have cut it down and got rid of the junk and just kept it good, even if the conference was shorter, but made it really, really interesting to watch, I think this would have got a higher score when I rate my scores for the press conferences. But again, it is what it is. I just thought this conference could have been a little bit better, mostly because it dragged on with stupidness. If they would have kept it, the good stuff, the score would have definitely jumped. But I'll get to the score at the end. Talked about EA Originals. They went after the creator of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. So they're creating a new game called A Way Out. Online or couch co-op only. Split-screen co-op. No single player. They are pushing the return of couch co-op, which I absolutely love. And I'll tell you, one good thing about the EA conference was the pushing of couch co-op. If E3 continues on this, I think this is going to be an excellent E3 because couch co-op is a thing of the past that I grew up with, and you don't really see it anymore with online gameplay. It's just, it's no more. It's a thing of the past. It seems to be coming back after popular demand. So, hats off to EA, hats off to these developers of A Way Out. They even put here in quotes, co-op gameplay like you've never played. So, that's awesome. And there was hints about it throughout the conference, couch co-op. So that's awesome that's becoming back, in the homes of people, in home consoles. That's great. In a world of multiplayer and online. Thank God now with the Switch, we have that with the Switch now. I've been doing a lot of tabletop mode with my family and friends. So that it looks like that's coming back. So that's a good thing. That was missing for too long. Shows off NBA Live 18. Another one that's story-driven. I guess they're calling it The One, which is the story mode. New ways to play a basketball game. First look, and I put in quotes, visually impressive, looks great. Yeah, when's the last time you could say that about an NBA Live game? NBA Live has been absolutely atrocious these past few years. It seems like they're really, really working on a really good NBA Live. I can't wait to get back into NBA Live and give it another chance. Because back in the day, NBA Live was the shit. So we'll see. I know they have NBA 2K, which is actually coming out on the Switch, but I'll definitely check out NBA Live. Anthem, new IP announced from BioWare. Gameplay will be shown at the Xbox press conference briefing. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll have more info on that when that conference hits. Microsoft's. Star Wars Battlefront 2, it will be the finale for this conference. And basically, that's what saved this conference from having a really low score to having a decent score. Basically, Battlefront pretty much saved this conference. I thought that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was absolutely awesome. I think it was really, really, really well done. Let me get my notes here. And what it looks to me is, in a nutshell, and the rest of this conference was Star Wars Battlefront 2. What it looks to me is that they really answered the fans' requests and got rid of everything that was really bad about Battlefront 1 and really, really fixed it with Battlefront 2. Every single thing that I know that people had complained about, and a lot of things that people actually did not like the game for, looks like EA listened. And it really looks like they actually went back, made notes, and actually addressed a lot of things. And of course, the main thing was, we all know it, the main thing was story mode. Battlefront 2 never had a story mode. So the main focus of Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that it's going to actually feature a full-on story campaign. And it actually looks really, really good. Stormtroopers came on stage. They kind of had a little bit of an on-screen show there, kind of like with Madden. They announced that they're going to be showing 30 minutes of gameplay, multiplayer gameplay, of new maps and whatnot. Tells a new story, full story mode. It's going to feature 3 times the content of the first game. I guess what they basically mean is all around, meaning multiplayer, between the story mode, everything. Couch co-op. Another word about couch co-op. It's going to feature Skirmish, which is going to be their new mode, basically for couch co-op. More heroes, more weapons, more online maps and modes. The story will bridge a gap between both movies, The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. So that's absolutely insane That's fantastic. That means it's probably going to be really, really good. It's going to have all the characters in it. It's basically, like I said, it's going to answer the feedback of the fans of what they wanted in Battlefront 1. And I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to address all that, from what I'm seeing here at the conference. Basically, with the 30 minutes of multiplayer mode that they showed was Assault on Theed. Finn actually came on. The actor that plays Finn, he talked about free DLC coming in the future for Season 1. All post-launch maps, heroes are free. And I put in quotes, I appreciate them listening to the fans. And yeah, basically that's it. That pretty much wrapped up EA's conference. And I'm going to give EA's conference a 5 out of 10. Basically, the 5 is from Star Wars and Need for Speed. The rest I thought was absolute trash. A lot of the stupidness, a lot of the backstage, the interviews, the onstage silliness. I really think it could have been avoided. And they could have showed more, of some of these games that are really good, decent games. It's just I don't think they talked a lot about them. But what saved this conference from being a complete disaster was Star Wars and Need for Speed. I thought was really good. If it was a conference that was just based off of Star Wars and Need for Speed and maybe a few others, it would have been a really high score. But because they dragged it with so much other BS, like I said, the first half of the conference, you could go on Twitter. Everybody was complaining. Everybody's like, "What is going on here? What happened to EA? To EA, and what happened to E3?" Thank God for Star Wars, because Star Wars really blew it out of the park, in my opinion, and brought this conference back from the grave, as far as I'm concerned. So, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming. I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to check the multiplayer out. I can't wait to see if they have a beta for it. I will be first day player in that beta. I'll be first day buyer. I absolutely did love the first one. I was one of the few people that didn't complain at all about the first one. I mean, I wasn't missing the story, but it's awesome that they're doing it. This kind of reminds me of the same situation that Titanfall 1 suffered, and they fixed in Titanfall 2. This is very similar. So basically, Star Wars Battlefront 2, I think, is going to be a really, really good game. Could be even Game of the Year. It depends on how well this plans out. But supporting the game, free DLC, story mode, multiplayer, 3 times bigger. I think this is going to hit it out of the park. I really do. I think they may have a gem here waiting to be released. Excited about Need for Speed, and yeah, I am excited about NBA Live. It actually does really look good. And actually, the story for Madden, the long shot, looks actually really interesting. So, and if you're a Battlefield 1 player, you're probably really happy, because there's a lot of content coming to that game, and it's nice when you buy a game and it continues to get support, as opposed to releasing an entire new game. So I'm always for keeping a game alive and adding new content to the game. So hats off to EA for that. But I know there's a lot more conferences, and I got to save some of the higher scores for these other conferences that are known to hit it out of the park, but we'll see. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to judge every conference. I'm giving this an average. A 5 is an average. It's an exact average. So 5 out of 10 for EA. Hopefully the other conferences pick it up. Take care, and I will see you on the next E3 coverage highlight recap video. And catch me on Twitter. I will be live tweeting during the press conferences, up to the minute reactions, info, retweeting, and more. So you definitely want to follow me on Twitter. Take care. Happy E3, everybody, and I hope to see you on the next video.